A look at the causes of Jim Morrison's unexpected death. Jim Morrison appeared to be boundless. July 3, 1971. At the youthful age of 27, the frontman for The Doors, also known as the Lizard King, was a rock god who was almost prophetic. He burned brightly for over a decade until his light began to go away. He passed away unexpectedly, which shook rock and roll to its very foundations. Since then, his death has been surrounded in mystery, which has resulted in one of the most significant question marks in the genre. On December 12, 1970, at the New Orleans music arena known as the Warehouse, The Doors would unknowingly perform their final concert with Morrison. This event would take place prior to Morrison's passing. The performance was a complete and utter failure, culminating in an irate Morrison destroying the stage floor with a microphone stand and then leaving the stage at that moment. In the year preceding up to the performance, Morrison and the band had experienced a lot of difficulties that were anything from ideal. In 1969, Morrison was accused of indecent exposure on stage during a show that took place in Miami. As a result of this incident, the vocalist was found guilty and sentenced to 6 months in jail. But he filed an appeal against his conviction, and he continued to be released on bond. Over the course of that time period, The Doors embarked on a brief tour, and with the prospect of a prison sentence hovering over Morrison, the singer started drinking regularly, and his behavior, which had previously been admired for its rock and roll qualities, became even more destructive. The remainder of the tour was canceled as a result of the incident that occurred in New Orleans, and the band returned to Los Angeles in order to finish recording the album titled L.A. Woman. After finishing the record, Morrison promptly boarded a plane and traveled to Paris, France, in an effort to find some serenity. Unfortunately, he would pass away a few months after that. In the early morning hours of July 3, 1971, the body of Morrison was discovered. He was discovered in the bathtub of the apartment in Paris that he shared with Pamela Corson, his lifelong lover, throughout their relationship. In the end, it was her who made the discovery. French authorities determined that heart failure was the official cause of death for him, despite the fact that no autopsy was ever performed on him. The news of his passing was quickly met with suspicion from both his admirers and his friends, and it has since become the subject of a great deal of speculation and conspiracy theories. All the mysteries that surround it. The circumstances surrounding Morrison's untimely passing have been the subject of years of intensive research, which has led to the development of a number of hypotheses. According to other accounts, the frontman truly passed away in the restroom of the Rock and Roll Circus Club in Paris as a result of an overdose on heroin. This tragic conclusion to his downward spiral was a cruel ending. After that, his body was relocated to the bathtub as part of an elaborate cover-up, as stated in a book written by Sam Burnett, entitled The End, Jim Morrison. There are plenty of rumors circulating, and one of the most widely held beliefs is that Morrison actually fabricated his own death in order to avoid the scrutiny of the public and to spend his final days in solitude. It's possible that the world will never know the truth about what happened to the famous frontman in 1971, but his music will undoubtedly continue to be played until the very end.